Hey, welcome back, gamers, to the Wespawn Wewap. Yes, Nicholas has actually been traveling, so we get Zane yet again. How you doing?
Just to be safe.
How you doing, Xanifer?
Life is good. Life is good. Jake, how are you this week? Busy week of news.
Busy week.
Yeah.
All we can really do really quick, guys, is thank you very much for watching. Really glad to have you here, Zan, for 2 times, the podcast and this.
Thank you for having me.
You want to get it rolling?
Yeah, let's hit it.
Let's hit it. And the Mixer dagger, the Mixer moves that have stopped. I know we talk about it a lot, Zan.
With good reason. It is one of the biggest stories in esports right now.
I just hate every time I talk about it, people are like, Jake, why do you always talk down about Mixer? And these moves continue to happen for other platforms, that being Summit1g now officially re-signing or signing to Twitch, whichever you do want to call it. The GOAT, the King, many people refer to him as, just this past month was the most subscribed to until Valorant drops did fall off. Give me your thoughts on this. Obviously, to date, probably one of the biggest signings we have seen besides Ninja and Shroud going to Mixer.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the signings that makes the most sense in the world, because Summit1g, like he said in his video, his home is Twitch.
Yep.
And I imagine Twitch will do anything to keep him there, because, I mean, in that kind of situation, what is any competitor supposed to do?
Yeah, and a month ago, he was talking about, literally almost exactly a month ago, he was saying, ask me again in a month, and here we are. He has now officially announced it will not be Mixer, reconfirming Nade's shot statement from a week ago that Mixer is just not giving out the bag, and ever more so begging the question of what will Mixer do. I know we kept it short, guys, but Twitch and YouTube keep on making the moves, and Mixer has been very, very quiet.
All right, Jake, this is a weird story, a rare one in esports, and Jake's already laughing because he knows what we're about to get into. So it all started when Tarzan, huge League of Legends player, called out IWDominate of Team Liquid for having Tarzan boost 2 of his accounts to challenger status. And, you know, obviously, very contentious issue, not at all allowed by League of Legends terms of services. But surprise, surprise, IWDominate comes back with proof that Tarzan also asked Dominate to boost one of his accounts. So it's back and forth, back and forth.
It's a freak circumstance of, you know, almost kind of comparable to like account sharing, but it's account boosting. And if you just try and paint this picture with any other esport,
it's not possible.
I mean,
it's
even if it was possible, like it is for a few of them, just this kind of news coming out, I think the ending to all of this, and of course we pair this to, if you guys have not been paying attention to League of Legends, the NA toxicity and solo queue and just queuing in general has been a wide topic of debate. Voyboy coming out about this, tons of people.
Yeah, check our content on that for more explanation.
Nick had a video on that.
Yeah.
And so you pair it with that, and then the ending to all of this, after these two literally expose each other, they take to Twitter and go, I'm sorry, never mind. And they take it behind closed doors.
No, yeah, I'm glad they did. Shout out to them being adults. We don't see that in esports very often. It was a good call to take this very public, very potentially career-ruining fight off of Twitter.
Let's end it on this.
Yeah.
What did Liquid say to IWD? You know, because all of a sudden this fight lasted not too long at all, and all of a sudden the Liquid member takes
a couple hours, perhaps.
Yeah. And again, a great response. I wish organizations, if Liquid did step in to make this happen, I wish they would do it more often. I'll say this: when it comes time for NA League of Legends, drama, controversy, toxicity, boosting, you name it, they got it going on right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
And speaking of drama, some controversy, Call of Duty has been producing a lot of content for us.
As per usual.
Over this past couple of weeks, one of the biggest controversies was the Huntsman change. That's going to be Gunless being benched and now bringing back of a twin brother. I think we gave a huge props to the Huntsman. And maybe of course, the surrounding events of Gunless's benching. We see this time and time again in esports when it happens where, you know, the players find out not from their own management or their teammates or anyone in the organization. That sucks. What doesn't suck is the Huntsman now winning their first event while bringing a twin brother back of one of their current members, which is always a cool sight to see brothers in esports.
No, yeah, absolutely. I mean, you got to imagine there's some extra level of coordination there just from like knowing each other for so long.
Right when you said extra level, I was like, there's got to be some sort of secret power, right?
Yeah,
like you see team chemistry, but then you bring in twins. That's got to be next level.
Well, yeah, spend your whole life with another person. Of course, you're going to know what corner they're going to target, you know?
Yeah, and I think coming off this win, there's a big lingering question because early season, when we had this Huntsman roster, they ride off momentum. It is no secret out there. They ride off of this. They saw their downfall or plateau, and now a fresh breeze of momentum. Can they keep it going? And I think ultimately as well, let's end on this. When it comes time for having brothers, or even more so, twin brothers on a single team, can that cause a rift when issues finally do come up?
I mean, I think it's inevitable at some point, but I do think it kind of works both ways in that they'll probably be able to sort out issues faster.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Definitely two sides to that coin. We'll see if the Huntsman can keep on riding the momentum. That's a word. or if they break under the pressure like I just did. And our buddy Nick has talked extensively on this topic. So too have we.
Yep.
That being Valorant, Zan. At the point of us recording, we are just days away to the official release.
Right around the corner.
We have seen tons of players, tons of teams slowly coming to fruition. I would say in the past 2 weeks, some big teams have now come out and announced teams. Mortals being one, TSM being another, Gen G, T1, almost finalizing rosters out there. It's going to be a wild ride, but the giant question has to be, is this game ready? We have several outspoken characters out there, one being DeFran, others, as mentioned in Nick's videos as well. Shroud have been a large proponent of, is this game actually ready for release in esports?
And I'm kind of impressed and surprised to see all these personalities coming out and openly voicing their concerns with the game, especially after that initial wave of positivity that we saw out of the gate.
Yeah.
Like everybody was like, oh, this is the best game I've played in years. And now all of a sudden they're like, is it ready? And I honestly, I can't disagree with most of the points they're making. It does not feel ready.
Yeah, and I think that, of course, you got to compare it. Is it ready for release? Maybe. You know, the game's got to come out eventually to critique itself and to learn from it. Is it ready for esports? I think a lot of us know the answer. That just would be no. I think most games at release are not ready for esports, and we can only hope as the months do progress throughout the summer that they slowly do become ready. But it is a giant lingering topic because we have all these players, all of these teams either making the switch or paying salaries.
Right, yeah.
So, you know, is the pressure on? Is pressure cooker on for when this thing is actually
It absolutely is. These people are going to have to justify paying these players so much money with a game that, realistically speaking, probably isn't ready to come out of the oven.
Like, we got rosters out there started paying these boys in beta. And what if the game isn't esports ready till next year? Like, oh yeah, we've already shelled out 6 figures. You know?
No, yeah, right. Like, I mean, Riot has said that they're looking into fixing many of the issues that people have brought up, but there's no timetables at all. We don't know if a fix is coming in within a month of release or within a year of release. So.
And then very lastly, like Riot has said, it all depends on third-party organizers.
Absolutely.
Who's going to want to shell out the cash?
Face it is.
Especially during this time. Yeah, Face it might be one, but is it going to be enough to suffice?
They just confirmed, yeah.
And I've never seen, you know, Face It does not put on that many big events when it comes time for sufficing for these giant salaries. So esports, Valorant esports is on the way. Is it going to come soon enough? And we have long talked about aim assist being a huge debate. I always like to stick to Shroud's famous words on this. They just don't belong together.
Yeah.
And I think other people are kind of following that same suit, following this past week where Tfue took a step away into Warzone and away from Fortnite. And people thought aim assist might finally be nerfed. It turns out, as of this week, aim assist has been buffed. And those were the changes they were hinting at.
Classic Epic. They hit us with the 1-2. They fooled everybody. They said they were looking into it. Everybody's like, oh, great, finally, thank you. And then they released the patch and like, hey, it's a buff, actually. Surprise.
It's so, dude, it's so baffling that at this point, and again, I don't know, but you have to wonder, are they trolling or are they being serious? Like, are they low-key being geniuses, or is this them being stupid, or what was the end goal here?
At this point, I'm convinced there must be some like metric that they're tracking that shows that, okay, so our esports people are gonna hate it, right? But our common, our average player base, like little Timmy just playing Fortnite, having a blast with his bros, like he's gonna really appreciate the extra aim assist. And so they were just like,
that's almost exactly what Tfue said in his last tweet.
Oh, really? Yeah, okay, perfect.
And I know you haven't checked that, so
No,
I'm glad you have the perspective, because Tfue has literally come out and said, all right, well, we've already had other people out there like Myth famously say it's a children's game, it's for the casual player base, and now Tfue comes out and says it is a game for kids and controller players. And at this point, that is what it is leaning to. Is it going to become the Call of Duty franchise where if you're not on a controller, and eventually it'll maybe go back to crossplay and they'll try and balance it out? But it seems that is the direction they're heading, to appeal to the younger audience. I don't want to say they're all kids out there, the controller players and the casual player base. And we'll see eventually where this move does go. If Epic does correct itself, if Tfue finally quits, a lot of open-ended streets here when it comes to Fortnite at aim assist. Yeah, as per usual, gamers, hope you all enjoyed the Respawn recap. Zan, you want to hit him with the outro?
Yo, thank you all for watching. We appreciate it. By all means, let us know what you think down in the comments.
Take care, everybody. Be safe, and we'll see you guys back here next week.